The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. It's very likely that I'm mispronouncing most of what I just said. In any case, this is a Folio Society edition, comes with this gold slipcover. It's a very slim book. And it's got these ornate sort of designs in a cloth binding. Now, it's hard to say who wrote this book because the person who wrote it in one language, and then it was it's upside down. You know, I'm getting confused because of the way this is written, the way that it's printed on the side here. I've noticed this before. Makes you think it's one way. See? If I see this written this way, I think, okay, the top of the book is here, and since this is right side up, then I would read it this way. But that's not true. It needs to be done this way, so that the spine looks like that. I don't know, it's interesting. It's a convention that I'm used to that's not. In any case, let's get back to the book. So, it was written by Omar Khayyam in, well, I suppose it was Persian, even though these days the language spoken in Iran is known as Farsi. But I think that was Persian. And Edward FitzGerald did a translation. But by all accounts, including his own, it wasn't a very faithful translation. And so since then, there have been much more faithful translations, including by Robert Graves, who has done a fair amount of translating from the ancient world. But his version, the Edward FitzGerald version, became very famous, and so became its own thing. I'm getting all this from, what they tell me. I'm not an expert at all. And it's something like how the King James version of the Bible, though critics and experts say that it's not a great translation, but it's its own thing. It's its own sort of work of art now. Well, that's how this one is. Okay, this has been illustrated by Virgil Burnett. I love the illustrations. I think they're really cool. Or Burnett, probably. Virgil Burnett. And it's just a really short little poem. Well, no, it's a long poem. It's a short book. The stanzas, apparently, he just moved them around. He organized them how he wanted. FitzGerald, I'm talking about. And so I won't talk about the quality of the poem, but it's worth reading. The introduction, I think, a little bit overstates how familiar this poem is to people. At least, let's see, this was, I don't know when that introduction was written, but this book was printed in 1982. But the introduction here says that it is perhaps the most widely known poem in the English language. I think that is a remarkable overstatement. Can we say overstatement? A remarkable exaggeration. Anyway, it's a neat little book. It's easy to read, and it's very small, and it's a fun one to have. Yeah, I just want to say, if this is right side up, then I expect the spine to be like this. Well, it's just another reason to love it for its quirks. Okay, so that is the Rubaiyat. Upside down. The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, and this is a very pretty little Folio Society edition.